won't work. And today we're also hearing from Michigan U.S. Senator Elissa Slotkin. She, too, is pushing back, calling the FBI involvement a way to intimidate her into silence. Let's get live to Fox News' Scott Wolchek with her responses. Scott, you had the chance at a news conference to ask her some questions yourself.
Yes, I did. And you know what? Senator Slotkin really covered all the bases talking about her response to the FBI's latest request to investigate her, as well as just the president's response to this thing. She's really pointing out the intimidation factor here and saying basically because he disagrees with the video, that's why you're seeing him threaten to get the Pentagon involved, threaten to get the FBI involved. Now, why did she go about making this video in the first place? Well, she really kind of talked about that at this press conference, saying that it was a factor of things, right? You've got National Guard being deployed in places saying, hey, I don't feel comfortable doing this. What should I do? She also pointed out to activity going on down in the Caribbean where troops are being asked to basically attack these ships that are supposedly ran by drug cartels, but they're highly classified documents and information involved, so they don't exactly know who the targets are. So that's why she said she wanted to make this video. Of course, in the fallout, you've seen President Trump's response calling on basically calling this treason. And you've also seen it where she's had a lot of security threats. Her own home was threatened with a bomb threat, and she's on 24/7 security watch. Take a listen to a little bit of what she had to say earlier at today's press conference.
The Counterterrorism Division at the FBI sent a note to the members of Congress saying they are opening what appears to be an inquiry against the 6 of us. To be honest, the president's reaction and the use of the FBI against us is exactly why we made the video. He believes in using the federal government against his perceived adversaries, and he's not afraid to use the arms of the government against people he disagrees with.
A lot of everyday people might listen to the president and say that that video was seditious or that it was treason. What would you say to those everyday Americans?
Well, look, I think, like I said, people disagree with me every single day. Does that mean that I should be investigated by the FBI and that the President of the United States should suggest that I be hung? Disagree with me every day. Look, I'm Michigan's senator. There's not a day goes by that people agree with everything that I say. The question is it an appropriate response to suggest someone be hung and then knowingly make people less safe? And I would never do that to someone else that I vehemently disagree with.
Senator Slotkin standing by that video. Of course, we'll keep you updated with the very latest. For now, reporting live in Detroit, Scott Wolchek, Fox 2 News. Root, back to you.
Yeah, Scott, you've been looking into it. We've been talking about it here in the newsroom quite a bit. Bottom line is there's a difference between saying following unlawful orders or following lawful orders. And that distinction is something that obviously makes a huge difference in this conversation.
It definitely does, and you have to think about our active service members, right? Because from my understanding in the military, you follow orders. Now you're kind of getting mixed messages, and I think that's where a lot of the frustration you're seeing from the president likely comes from, but you're also seeing on the Democratic side, people saying his response is too extreme. So you've got some miscommunication going on. Obviously, they're trying to straighten this thing out and really kind of get to the bottom of what exactly they're hoping happens after publishing this video.
Now, we'll be talking to a free speech specialist tonight on our 10 o'clock show to unpack this a little bit more. An important topic, one that you're covering here tonight. Good work getting the senator today. Scott Wolchek for us live. Thank you. All new today, a Waterford man is facing charges accused of threatening violence against members of the Oakland County Republican Party. Police say Ryan Lewis Valance messaged the GOP threatening to light the Oakland County Republican headquarters on fire and threatening to kill the GOP chair, Krish Mathrani, the youth chair, that is. Valance was arrested by Bloomfield Township Police. He's been arraigned and ordered held on $1 million bond, no 10% cash bond. Now to a disturbing crime we're following out of Macomb County. 3 teens are accused of carjacking a woman outside of a restaurant, and it didn't end there. Let's get live to Fox News' Ingrid Kelly. She has what else we've learned tonight. Ingrid.
Yeah, you know what? The incident actually happened across the street in the lot near that restaurant. And as the teens tried to get away, they crashed that vehicle near the Sam's Club.
Talk to your children. Implore them to follow the law.
It's a strong message from the Macomb County prosecutor after 3 teens allegedly carjacked a 50-year-old driver and her 69-year-old passenger after they left a restaurant in Roseville Monday.
There has to be consequences with actions like this.
The teens are 14, 15, and 16, and according to police, one displayed an edged weapon and demanded the driver's keys.
This is totally unacceptable, and you will regret what you did.
As the teens got away, a police pursuit began. The teen driver then crashed into a citizen on northbound Gratiot at the exit from Sam's Club.
Take the vehicle and undoubtedly would have ran everywhere from the police but for a crash.
After the crash, all 3 teens ran away on foot. 2 were apprehended and 1 teen ran into the Sam's Club and hid inside a restroom where he was taken into custody. The teens were arraigned Tuesday.
They are being held in the Juvenile Justice Center here in Macomb County, pending. We took the 5 days that we're entitled to because the case is so bizarre and so egregious.
And the prosecutor's office will decide if the youth are tried as adults.
In every case where a juvenile commits such an egregious crime, they more than have that possibility.
Back out here live. You know, this incident is still under investigation. And as you can see, this is a very busy area, lots of traffic coming and going. So if you were in the area yesterday and you saw anything and you captured video perhaps on your phone, make sure you contact Roseville Police. Back to you, Rube.
It is so shocking when you hear the ages of these people who are doing these things. These are teenagers, kids, but that also kind of leads you to wonder how much of this stuff may be kind of found online, some of the sleuthing that these police have to do to look for some of these young people and the people they could be talking to. Other people could be discussing it right now. A lot of investigating still to be done.
Exactly. And, you know, the prosecutor says he's very intentional about this. They actually took 5 days, you know, because they want to do as much investigation as possible. Of course, they say they're starting with the victims. The 2 women are okay, which is very good news, but emotionally, they're not. So they want to make sure that they research that. And then also, too, they want to check into the teens' home life. You know, have they actually committed crimes in the past? And so all those things will be factors as this investigation continues.
All right. Well, the investigation does continue. Anyone who has any information should continue to provide that to police. Ingrid Kelly for us live tonight. Thank you.
I feel happy that they catched them.
You always think that you're doing all that you can to protect your kids, and just something so out of the ordinary, so unplanned happens. It's like, what do? You have to respond quickly and rise to the occasion, and don't let fear be a factor.
A young girl and her mom react after Southfield police say they've arrested a man accused of spying on the child in a public bathroom. 45-year-olds say this man, Dale Fry of Detroit, now facing charges of taking pictures of the girl at a Michael's store on Telegraph and 12 Mile back in October. Back in May, a 21-year-old man was pulled over by police for speeding, not having insurance, but then he alleges the officers involved excessive force they used, and he says he has video to prove it. Fox 2's Charlie Langton explains.
So we've got a 21-year-old man. He was pulled over for a speeding ticket and no insurance in the city of Detroit. But then he got into a scuffle with the cops, and then he was charged with resisting arrest. But the defense here is that it was really the cops that were the aggressor. All right, Todd Perkins, you represent Al Fredericks Vassar, okay? 21 years old.
Correct.
So what happened here? We're looking at the video now.
So what you're seeing in the video, and the portions that you're seeing, particularly in regards to the interaction while he's handcuffed, being led to the vehicle, the officer then strikes a blow to his head, and then he throws him like a rag doll. I mean, if that's not a jackal, I don't know what is.
You're saying that that is excessive force.
Oh, absolutely.
But in this case, a judge at the preliminary exam heard the evidence and said, yeah, there's enough to go to trial.
Yeah.
So you kind of lost at the preliminary exam.
Well, I don't think you lost. I mean, it gives an opportunity to go to trial, and it gives an opportunity to fight and have a jury hear and decide what's true and what's fact and what's fiction. I believe when a jury hears that, then he will be exonerated, and then I will come in and we intend to investigate this as far as the lawsuit against the city of Detroit once again.
And what's the message real quick here?
The message is that you do listen to officers when you're on the road. They have a dangerous job, but at the same time, we respect them, but we expect them to respect us. And that's not what happened with Mr. Vassar on that particular day. It's so upsetting and it's so unfortunate, and there will be a day in court for him, and I believe he will be exonerated, and then they'll be held to task in the civil side.
All right, we've got a criminal case going on here. We've got a civil case going on here. By the way, we did reach out to the city of Detroit. They don't have any comment on pending litigation. Charlie Langton, Fox 2 News.
All right, let's talk about the weather now. We've been talking about it for days, but we're talking about some colder weather coming our way. Let's get over to Rich. Hey, Rich.
Yes, Roop, it was rainy today. It's going to be windy tomorrow. Then the cold air really comes in Wednesday night and Thursday. Of course, Thursday is Thanksgiving. You can see the rain that we had earlier today has now eased off to the east. Quite a bit of rain over the Finger Lakes of New York State, down around Gettysburg, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. There are some areas of drizzle and fog that don't really show up on radar, but it is kind of damp out there. Look at these mild numbers. 52 for us, 45 in Traverse City. There's 43 up at Mackinac Island. In fact, we have live pictures from the Mackinac Bridge. It's wet there, 43 degrees. It's going to get a whole lot colder over the next 48 hours for the bridge and for the UP. Look at this. Wind advisories tomorrow. We will likely see some gusts up near 50 miles per hour for your Wednesday, but mild and damp for the rest of tonight. Here's a peek at the next couple days. Windy tomorrow, brisk and colder for your Thursday. That's Thanksgiving, Roop. Another check of the 7-day in 10.
All right, Rich, thank you. Fox 2 is working to learn more about a Pontiac couple accused in a disturbing case of child abuse. They're now behind bars. What investigators say they found when they went to the married couple's home just ahead. Rob, over to you.
I got my turkey here. I'm ready to deep fry it. Or am I? The Detroit Fire Department putting on a demonstration today, and I'm going to tell you some Thanksgiving do's and don'ts coming up.
All right, Rob, talk to you in a few minutes, but first, a wild scene on a stretch of a local interstate. The thing that happened when sheriff's deputies say they try to get a man suspected of driving impaired out of his vehicle. This video you got to see to believe, and it's next.